If you're distracted by the background, clap your hands. It's fine. Welcome to Tika Talks, the series where I talk about whatever I want. If I go over 10 minutes, I drink a shot of hot sauce. Today's topic is one that I really have a lot to say about because I'm so frustrated and done with the narrative that
food is fuel. Food is just fuel.
Sure, food is fuel, but it's not only fuel. There's so many other important aspects of food that we don't take into consideration, and I have to rant about it today. Looking at food as only fuel and nothing else, it takes away from the other aspects of food. I mean, we don't just eat when we're hungry. We eat for so many other reasons. Some of us eat emotionally, which I'm not saying is good or bad, but it's kind of the truth. I mean, it is the truth. And a lot of us bond over food. I mean, sometimes you feel like you get closer to a person when you can share that food experience. When we travel and we taste different cuisines that's part of a certain culture, it just creates an experience that you cannot otherwise have without eating the food. We also eat to celebrate things like birthdays and social events, and first, it's not the same if you have a birthday or if you have like a food-centered holiday like Thanksgiving and not eat anything on that day, or like stick to a meal prep on those days because you just are like your physical health is more important. Which, by the way, emotional, mental health and relationships with others are a part of our health. These are all things that are still a part of our health, but for some reason we only look at health as what we put in our bodies and how much exercise we do. Food is also about enjoyment. I mean, if you're not gonna probably enjoy every single thing you eat all of the time, but I think if we don't look at that, we are kind of being robbed of happiness a little bit. I mean, it's these moments that really bring us together and just create these experiences that we wouldn't otherwise have, and can create some happiness too, to an extent. It's these moments that make life worth living. You know, if you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm always talking about these moments and how precious these moments are. Because I don't know, I just truly believe that there is so much joy in life to experience, and if we're robbing ourselves from experiencing food and we're just sticking to like this chicken, broccoli, and rice situation, and we think that's the way that we have to live, but then we're feeling really deprived and left out because we're not actually enjoying it, that can be a huge problem. One reason it can be a problem is because it can fuel emotional eating, or it can put you in this deprivation mindset with food where you tend to have more cravings because you're saying, nope, I'm not gonna have that, I'm not gonna have that, I'm not gonna have that, which creates more cravings for the food. I mean, if I tell you don't press the red button, no matter what you do, don't press the red button, what are you so curious about? You're curious about the red button. You can't stop thinking about the red button. You want to press the red button. Same thing happens with food. And to learn how to deal with this, check out this video on understanding emotional hunger, which is like head hunger, versus physical hunger, because this is one of the keys to having a healthy relationship with food and also just being healthy. It's crazy because as a dietitian, I literally dedicated my many years of my life to study the functional aspect of food and nutrition, and yet there's this gap between the science of nutrition and knowing that, and anti-inflammatory foods and antioxidants, and then also what's practical. And I hope my channel like bridges that gap. But anyways, the takeaways from this little message. Number one, please stop being so hard on yourself. Some people literally develop eating disorders and very unhealthy relationships with food. Guess what? That's terrible for your health. It's terrible for your cortisol. It's terrible for your hormones, for your hair, for your nails, for your skin, and therefore your overall health. It's just as important to focus on having this healthy relationship with food as it is to eat healthy food most of the time. Number two, remember that you do not have to be perfect all day, every day. You do not have to eat perfectly to achieve your health goals. Whether your goals are to lose weight or whatever they may be, you don't have to be perfect. I see a lot of people falling into this trap, that this all or nothing kind of thinking.
I messed up once, so I might as well continue messing up for the rest of the day. I'm either on track or I'm off track. I'm either eating healthy or I'm not. It's my cheat day or it's not.
This is very all or nothing. And sometimes the all or nothing thinking can lead to feeling like,
oh, I ate pizza, I messed up on my diet. I might as well just continue eating like crap for the rest of the day because I already messed up.
but does that make sense? Think about it. Does that actually make sense? If you ran a red light, if you were driving, you ran a red light, would you continue running red lights for the rest of the day because you already messed up? No, right? You're just gonna take that experience, you're gonna learn from it and move on. So you don't have to do that with food, and it often backfires when you do. And here's the thing, dietitians are not perfect either. I don't eat perfectly. I think there's this stereotype that I hear a lot, like in my personal life when I tell people I'm a dietitian,
Oh, you must eat healthy all the time. You must eat so perfectly. You're a dietitian and you're eating French fries? Are you sure about that?
it's so ridiculous the things that I hear. People think that we're not human, that we're this some kind of like robotic thing that just eats salads and kale all day, and it's not true. Because nobody's perfect, we're all human. You don't have to eat perfectly to have a healthy body. Let me say it again, you do not have to eat perfectly to have a healthy body. The way that you eat should be flexible and work into your life and your lifestyle rather than be the sole focus and work against your life and make your life harder. Healthy eating and nutrition should make your life a lot easier and more pleasurable and honestly happier. And that's one thing that I really try to strive to teach to my clients. And I'm so excited for one of my clients. She's doing so great. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. But don't worry about being perfect. Progress over perfection. And number 3, do not be fooled by whatever diet it is of our time. Keto, intermittent fasting, whatever comes up, there's always gonna be some new fad diet. And fad diets like these work because of a calorie restriction. Trust me, I've read the research on intermittent fasting, I've read the research on keto. One thing that they all have in common is a calorie restriction, and it's not necessarily the ketosis or any specific benefit, like fat burning benefit. It's much more likely the calorie restriction and the calorie deficit that is causing the weight loss. So you don't have to do these crazy diets to lose weight. You have to do what works for you and your body. And as a dietitian, I see so much misinformation out there. It drives me insane. And I'm really here to help decipher that. And if you need help with any of this stuff specifically, I am taking clients. I'll link my info in the description down below. So with that being said, I think we do have a lot to learn about the function of food and nutrients and what are some of the best foods that we can eat. And that's why I made this video on antioxidants, which explains all of that. This video on food and our immune system and what nutrients and foods specifically help with our immune system. And this video on food and mood, which really goes in detail on what I'm talking about now and how food affects our mental health and vice versa. And please subscribe to my channel if you're not already so we can continue to grow and foster this community to bridge that gap between science of nutrition and all this nitty-gritty stuff with actually having a healthy relationship with food so you can have overall better health. And that's all for this episode of Tika Talks. I would love to hear in the comments what you thought. I'll see you later. Bye.